So what's going on, guys? This is Miles back with another video. Late night video on this one. I'm probably gonna upload this in the morning time. But I've been contemplating and thinking about uh, some of the problems that are going on in relationships, and this is one of the biggest problems I'm noticing. I'm noticing a lot of women today are just downright angry. They're angry at themselves, their lives. They're angry at men. I see this consistent trend that's going on where women are saying online that they're decentering their lives from men. Now, we know for a fact they haven't stopped sleeping with men. They're just decentering and all this virtue signaling BS they're trying to do online, when really it's just jadedness towards men. Why are they jaded towards men? They're fed up with the men that are cheating on them because they're all dating the same men, thinking they can all attain the alpha, and they can't. They're mad at the men that are not giving them enough attention. They're mad at the men that are not that are non-select, the incels that complain about legitimate issues. They're mad at all men. They're mad at the CEO. He gets to do what he wants whenever he wants. They're mad at the low tier guy that doesn't want to get a job and wants to play video games all day. They're mad at men no matter where you are in the hierarchy. And so a lot of their problems are their own creation. What do you mean, Miles? Here are the three problems that you're going to incur that are common amongst women in today's modern society. See, this is how they screw themselves up, and this is how they're going to screw you up in the end. So, problem number one they create for themselves. They have all these sexual experiences, all these different experiences, wilding out in college, right? And then, she gets out of college looking for the guy that can make enough money, that can pipe her down, right? Then she realizes that, you know what, I'm going to have to pick which which thing is most valuable to me. So, AKA settling. So she's going to settle for a guy that she wouldn't have settled for back whenever she was in college, an attractive, young, in shape. And so she makes the critical mistake that she can settle down for a relationship, settle down for a man that previously she's not really ever been attracted to. So what problem does she create? Well, she settles down, realizes that he doesn't do all the things that the other guys used to do, getting piped down, have the big Johnson, all this crazy stuff. And then what does she do? She cheats on him, ends the marriage, gets divorced, which screws you. She screws herself because she settled for a man that she knew she should have never settled for. She should have got with that guy that's known to be cheating on her and known to have multiple women. She should have just settled for that guy. But no, she settled for you. You nice guy, you religious guy, you financially well-off guy. She settles for you and then cheats on you and ends the relationship. Now you have to pay child support, alimony, and all these different things. Give up your house, give up half your assets because she was too experienced and she thought she could, settle for less than what she's previously done. Here's the next thing. They get pregnant at a young age. This screws them up because what man that's high value wants to raise another man's child? Women don't understand how that looks to other men. That lets me know that you went raw with another man. You let him ejaculate inside of you and you didn't stay with him, or you were that reckless in your vetting process that you just let him run up inside you raw, and now you're pregnant. Now you're raising a child that doesn't have a father. You slept with a guy raw that never intended to be in a relationship with you. He was just using you for sex. Women create the problems for themselves. And here's the next thing that you guys are going to run into. Career woman. The good old-fashioned career woman. She wants to have kids and family too late. Why? Because in college and in her late 20s, she's been focusing on her career, focusing on trying to get to be a CEO in the next 10 years. When in reality, the fastest way to become a CEO is to create your own business. You know, even CEOs, you either have to have a great network and relationships, meaning that you come from a good family that has a well-established relationships where you can become the CEO. These positions are not merit-based totally. You cannot be a random nobody and then become the CEO of Morgan Chase. It's not going to happen. You can become a nobody to being CEO of your own business, but you know, women keep buying the lies that society tells them, which creates problems for themselves. So what happened? They have kids late. They want to have family late. Now she can only have 1 or 2 kids, if that, or she has to freeze her eggs. And then on top of that, when she has a child, she doesn't want to raise a child. She doesn't want to be a homemaker or any of that. She wants to, you know, still go to work, which means what? The kids are going to be pushed off to grandparents or pushed off to daycare. And now guess what? Cost of living, everything is expensive. Then you're going to pay $300-400 a week in daycare expenses? Absolutely not. Your lifestyle is unsustainable. But women don't understand that, and they don't want to understand that, which is why they're creating the problems that they don't, or that they want, which causes problems in the relationship, in the marriage. And guess what? The marriage and relationship ends because her expectations and her selfishness ends it. I've literally just broken down in 6 minutes 70 to 80% of what men deal with on a consistent basis when dealing with women, and how the shit ends terribly. But it's all because they create these problems for themselves. Their anger, just like when Peaky Blinders, when Tommy and Alfie were getting into it, and Alfie got in Tommy's face and said, your anger is unjustified because you do just as much grimy stuff as I do. What are you to judge me? This is women. Women have no right telling men what to do whenever, after all their experiences they've had in college, after all the things they've done behind closed doors that men don't know about, raising children that are not even the man's child. Their anger is unjustified. They should be angry at themselves, the woman in the mirror, because that's the person that created this stuff, the unrealistic expectations, the believing of the lies of feminism. Being a career woman, being overly promiscuous and thinking that you can go through all these experiences and still be a valid mate. Why do you think women still have the streets are calling? Because she wants to get throttled how she used to get throttled back in college. And you, the nice guy that has a good career, but doesn't pipe her down correctly, or your Johnson doesn't measure up to what she's previously used to, you get cheated on. All these problems that women create for themselves. And then on top of that, they don't want solutions. They just want confirmation bias. Then on top of that, they don't want to take any accountability for their actions and participating in the problem and making the relationship end. And then they're going to play the victim at the most inopportune times, ruining your reputation in the mix. All of these are problems that women create for themselves. And so the anger that women have today is unjustified. They should be angry at themselves, angry at the society, angry at the media. That's my video and my observation. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have noticed this too. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the video, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.